Hey guys, this is Mac again. Today, a quick video with you on installation of the Noveske Nsr Keymod rail. This is one of the new lightweight Keymod modular rails that's on the market nowadays. Noveske was actually one of the first companies to come out with a Keymod rail. I'm incredibly impressed with this rail about how strong, rigid it is, and lightweight. This is a 13-inch rail that only weighs, with barrel nut, 11 ounces. So today we're going to be installing it on our upper receiver here with an 18-inch barrel. This is a rifle that I shoot in 3-gun, and I've sent this actually to ADCO to have it contoured underneath the handguard for some weight savings. So here's a quick plug for Steve at ADCO. They do really great work if you're interested in having anything done to your rifle or your barrel. So let's get started. This should be a fairly easy and straightforward install. However, because it is a little bit complicated, I wanted to go through this video today with you on proper installation and the steps that you need to do to get the NSR rail put on your AR-15. Now I've gone ahead and put my barrel into my upper receiver here. This is a Viltor MUR-A1A upper receiver, and this is a Rainier 18-inch stainless steel barrel with rifle length gas. Now this is the barrel nut that you're going to be installing with the NSR rail. Now a couple of things you need to know about this barrel nut. It is two-sided, okay, so you're going to have threads in both sides of the barrel nut, and the reason for this is because this barrel nut requires very specific indexing to mount up to the rail. All of these circular holes on the sides are threaded for screws, and the 6 torque screws that secure the rail to the barrel nut are going to go into these holes. So they're going to have to be precisely indexed at 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. Now, you don't have to worry about indexing the gas tube. There's no slot or anything that the gas tube needs to go through. But you are going to want that line of holes to be precisely at 12 o'clock and go precisely right under the gas tube. So that's one way that you can sort of be sure that you have it indexed correctly before you put your handguard on. The other thing is that you'll notice there's nothing here. This is completely round on these two sides, so there's nothing there that you can use to torque down. What you're going to use is a very specific tool. This is the one that Noveske sells. This is called a crowfoot wrench, and as you can see, it says NSR 1 1/16, and use this wrench to torque down the barrel nut just like that. There's 4-sided sort of square structure here right in the middle of the barrel nut that this crowfoot wrench goes around. Now you can use other things. I did a lot of research on this before I actually bought this from Noveske, because these are out of stock quite often. They're really sought after, so you may be unlucky and can't actually get this from Noveske. Some other things that you can use, there are other 1 1/16 crowfoot wrenches that you can get pretty cheaply, but a lot of people on the internet say that those don't fit correctly and that you may have to actually grind down some of the metal on the inside to get it to fit this barrel nut properly. The other thing I've seen people use are 27mm wrenches that you can get from Lowe's or Home Depot. So those are just some other options in case you can't actually get a hold of this Noveske crowfoot wrench. So how do you decide which side of the threads to use? So you just kind of need to do a test fit, and that's what I've gone on and done here just before, is I test fitted, and I concluded that this is going to be the side that I need to use. The threading is slightly different to allow people, you know, with a wide variety of upper receiver threadings to get, you know, a precise fit with these holes. So this is the side that I'm going to be using. I'm going to go ahead, and I've actually already greased up the threads. They do recommend that you pretty significantly lubricate the threads both on the barrel nut and the upper receiver prior to starting torquing it down. And given that I've just actually sort of temporarily installed this and saw how difficult it was, I will highly recommend that you use a torque wrench with specific torquing values here to install this, because there's a very, very tight tolerance on this barrel nut, at least with my upper receiver, so it took a fair amount of work to get it on. You know, there was nothing that felt abnormal or like I was going to mess up any threads anywhere, but it took quite a bit of elbow grease to get this on. So I'm going to go ahead and torque this down, and as soon as I'm done torquing it down, we'll come back and I'll show you what we got. Now I've got my barrel nut torqued down, and it took about 45 to 50 foot-pounds for me to get this indexed correctly. There you can see my gas tube hole, and the line of holes right directly in front of that are indexed properly right at 12 o'clock. So now that this is installed, and I did sort of tighten, loosen it 2 or 3 times just to make sure that the threads all synced up with each other. So now my barrel nut is properly installed, and we can move on to gas block and gas tube installation, and finally the rail. Now we've got our Noveske gas block, low profile, and gas tube installed, and everything went together just right. Nice tight fit. Got a dimpled barrel here, which is this is my preference for securing a low profile gas block. The only thing better than that would actually be pinning it. So this gas block works really great on this barrel, and everything is secure. And now we're ready to actually put the NSR and secure it onto the barrel nut. Okay, now we're ready to slide the Noveske NSR rail over the barrel and gas block. Now it's a pretty tight fit here over the barrel nut, but it goes pretty easily. You don't need to force it. And that's just a little preview of what it's going to look like. Now there is an anti-rotation pinhole here in the NSR. They do recommend that you drill a hole in your upper receiver and use the small pin that they provide as an anti-rotation protection. Now I'm not going to do that on this video because I have no interest in drilling a hole in my $200 upper receiver. So I trust information that I have read saying that these 6 torque screws that we'll be using to secure the rail to the barrel nut are strong enough that this rail is not going to rotate on me. I believe that Noveske makes absolutely top quality products, and I don't believe that this rail is going to rotate on me. So you do have 6 of these torque screws that you're going to install into these 6 holes at 3, 6, and 9 o'clock. Noveske does send you an L-shaped torque wrench here, but I'm not going to use that. I have read reports of people cross-threading these bolts, so for a little bit extra security I'm going to actually use a socket here with a Torx head. So I'm going to go ahead and torque these down real quick, and then we'll see what we got. And there you can see the fit of that low-profile Noveske gas block with a rifle-length gas system inside this NSR 13.5. The end of the gas block probably only protrudes from the end of the rail by maybe half a centimeter. I mean, it's a tiny amount. It's essentially just flush with the end of the tube. So this is a really nice fit. I am very happy with how that came out. And you know, should you use an adjustable gas block, this would be a good length for you to be able to adjust your gas block very easily, because it's very accessible right here at the end of the rail. And there you can see how the NSR mates up with the barrel nut. You can actually see the barrel nut inside there, the gas tube going right through into the upper receiver, and the torque screws, which are on 3 different sides securing the barrel nut and the rail. This is a completely bomb-proof design. I'm very impressed with how secure it locks up, and as you can see, the upper rail of the handguard meets up just perfectly with the flat top of the upper receiver as well. And last thing we have to do here is go back and put our muzzle device back on. So that'll be our Battle Comp 1.0. Always go with a brand new crush washer whenever you're taking your muzzle device on and off. I just have a bag there. I just buy them in bulk because I do a fair amount of trading out of muzzle devices on different rifles. So just go with a brand new crush washer. Muzzle device installation on barrels is pretty straightforward. You just hand tighten it right down, and then depending on what type of muzzle device you have, just index it however it needs to be indexed. And Battle Comp's index with the logo down at 6 o'clock. So I'll just get this tightened down and then we'll be completely done. So that is the simple installation of the Noveske NSR rail. This is the 13.5. takes literally less than probably 20 to 30 minutes. You do need the right tool, so remember the 1 1/16 crowfoot wrench that you will need. Noveske does sell those, so check out their website if you're looking for one. This is such a lightweight upper receiver now. It literally feels like I've shaved a pound off the upper receiver. So I'm really excited about this. We're going to get it put back together with the lower receiver and get out and shoot this. And I have no fears that this Noveske NSR rail is going to be completely bomb-proof, very rugged, very reliable, and very easy to use. A little bit interested to see how it dissipates heat. So shooting 3-gun, you know, there are some repeated quick strings of fire. So I'll be seeing how the end near the gas block heats up near my left hand. So once again, this is Mac. Hope you enjoyed this Noveske NSR installation video. If you like videos like this, please click that like button for me, and as always, subscribe to my channel where you'll always get videos just like this one. So once again, this is Mac. Be safe, and we'll see you next time.